Hi guys, today we're going to be reading the National Geographic for kids on September 11th. Let's get into it. On September 11th, 2001, people on the east coast of the United States woke up to a beautiful late summer day. The sun shone brightly in a brilliant blue sky. It was Tuesday, and people in the New York City were preparing for another day at work and school. Thousands of people headed for the Twin Towers that morning. These two skyscrapers were part of the World Trade Center. They rose above the city's downtown skyline on the island of Manhattan. Nobody knew the world was about to change. Twin Towers. Two skyscrapers in New York City's World Trade Center complex, and the world's tallest building when built. New York is a loud, busy city with three major airports. Nearby, people who live there are used to seeing and hearing airplanes flying overhead. But on this morning, people stopped on the street and looked up. The sound of an airplane was too loud. The airplane was flying too low, and to their horror, the airplane flew straight into the side of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. American Airlines Flight 11 hit the North Tower at 8:46 a.m. The impact of the crash tore a hole that stretched from the 93rd to the 99th floors of the building. The World Trade Center contains 7 buildings. The Twin Towers, also known as the North and South Towers, were the tallest. Each had 110 stories and stood about 1,360 feet high. In 2001, between 30,000 and 50,000 people worked at the World Trade Center every weekend. Tens of thousands more passed through the complex subway cars, and other trains went under and near the World Trade Center. Experts estimate that more than 130,000 people traveled on them each day. Here's an action. Flight attendants Betty and On and Madeline Amy Sweeney called American Airlines from aboard Flight 11 before the plane crashed. They reported that the plane was in trouble. Smoke and flames poured out of the building. Many people thought they had just seen a terrible accident, but 17 minutes later, a second plane flew into the World Trade Center buildings, this time into the South Tower. Many cameras caught the second attack on film. The video was played over and over again on television. Soon people knew the hijackers had taken over the planes. A group of men had taken control of the cockpit of each airplane and flown them into the buildings on purpose. People were watching the fire in the North Tower when the second plane flew toward the South Tower. Hijacker, a person who takes over an aircraft, ship, or vehicle with force or the threat of force. United States Flight 175 crashed into the 77th through the 85th floors on the South Tower at 9:03 a.m. The attacks continues. The United States was under attack, and the attack was not over yet. About half an hour later, hijackers crashed a third airplane. This plane hit the west side of the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. As it sliced through the concrete building, the plane instantly broke into tiny pieces. The plane's fuel tanks exploded, and two giant fireballs blasted into air. Hijackers crashed American Airlines Flight 77 into the Pentagon, causing explosions and fire. Who was behind the attacks? The hijackers who committed the 9/11 attacks were part of a terrorist or violent rebel group. In 2001, this group, called Al-Qaeda, was based in Afghanistan. Their leader was Osama bin Laden. Al-Qaeda considered the United States to be an enemy. The hijackers used the airplane to attack train members and train members in the plane to attacks on the world buildings, countries around the world. 9/11, another name for the terrorist attacks that took place on September 11, 2001, Pentagon, five-sided building that serves headquarters for the U.S. Department of Defense. How many pages is this, guys? We might have to break it up into parts. Yeah, well, we're going to go until 15 and break it up. The U.S. government ordered all airplanes flying over the country to land as soon as possible, but it was too late for the United Airlines Flight 93 hijackers had already taken control of this fourth aircraft. They were flying toward Washington, D.C. All four of the airplanes in the 9/11 were supposed to be flying across country. The hijackers took control of the planes and shortly departure and changed their routes. Passengers and crew members called loved ones who told them about the other attacks. People on Flight 93 through their aircraft would be used as a weapon too. So they fought the hijackers to try get control of the plane. In response, the hijackers crashed the plane into a field in Pennsylvania. Here in action, a phone call recorded as the passengers and crew began to fight back. Passengers Todd Beamer was heard saying, "Are you ready? Okay, let's roll." Flight 93 crashed into a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The crash started is a short flight away from the hijackers' likely target, a building in Washington, D.C. The rescue begins. Many people escaped from the Twin Towers, but others were trapped inside the burning buildings. In New York City, dark smoke poured from the Twin Towers. People rushed to escape the area, which later became known as Ground Zero. In some cases, brave co-workers saved people's lives. Rick Ruskora was the vice president of the security at company with offices on floors 43 to 74. On the South Tower, after the first plane struck North Tower, Ruskola immediately ordered everyone in his office to leave. He used a bullhorn so people could hear him. He helped nearly 2,700 people make it downstairs to safety. Ground Zero, a term once used to identify the site where 9/11 World Trade Centers and recovery in New York took place. I think we can do like 3 more pages. Actually, I think we're going to stop it here. So, good night, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're seeing this. Well, we're going to continue this after I dealt with this video. So have a good day, or night, or afternoon. Bye.